Alright. We've got ourselves a grand finals from the Kung Fu Cup Week 7. Onside Gaming Solar in the bottom left side. Fresh off his GSL championship, this man is looking absolutely insane recently. But he has a very fast Terran to face off against. In the top right, it's Team Liquid's CLEM. A player who's very capable of running circles around most Zerg players. I don't actually know what his head-to-head is with Solar. I probably should have looked this up before casting it. Count how many times I say that when I'm casting. But Solar has a very good style against him, as long as he can just survive, which is kind of Solar's specialty. Because CLEM does fall off a little bit if he can't get enough momentum and aggression going. And Solar is so good at just hanging on, weathering the storm, playing against Maru all day, every day, has turned him into a solid rock of a Zerg. You can punch him in the face so many times, and he just won't care. The man has an iron jaw, and he'll take more punches than most players and just come out of it completely fine. Now, seeing that it's just a command center on the low ground, a 1-rank 6-band, he's kind of pulling back and just chilling. And he's also delaying ling speed. I'm going to go for that quick third base over at the third base while defending the Reaper. CLEM goes pretty deep with his Reaper, but isn't able to get a kill. Could have committed maybe slightly harder with it. Gets a bit of damage, but the drone simply walks away. Solar injects the main base. He'd love to get a creep tumor on the natural, but this is CLEM's famous anti-creep tumor micro, where he does a lot of hold position with the Reaper. Right-click, hold position, right-click, hold position. And you always have to wait for the second queen to get there before you put the tumor down. Otherwise, he will snipe it. So he always delays that tumor by about 15-20 seconds, simply through the threat of that. Behind it, he is playing double gas. Whoa, what is this? What the hell? Is CLEM going proxy Liberator from here? Liberator into Viking? Liberator into Medevac? Surely not Battlecruiser. Battlecruiser would be crazy. My whole chat's having a discussion over whether fat guys prefer burritos, hot dogs, or burritos, hot dogs, or burgers. Okay, I don't know if I've been fat. At my chunkiest, which ones of those would I probably have eaten? I mean, I don't eat that many hot dogs. They're not that popular in Australia. So for us, it's more between burritos and burgers. I think a good burger is where I'd go to for sure. If I'm going to die eating a food, it'd be a really good burger. It is going to be a Liberator coming out of the proxy. This is a tricky build. Solar has not sent an Overlord into Scout. And that's something he often does, right? Keeps his Overlord back, comes in for only a very late Scout. Alien's still poking in and out. I wonder, do we go for a second Liberator? He might actually go for a second Lib. Oh, he's got 2 Cyclones as well. Oh, this is such a cute build. I love it. First Overlord goes down. Another Overlord's going to get killed by the Marine eventually, scouting there. So Solar's stuck building 5 Overlords right now. First Liberator flies in from behind. He's distracted by the Alien Cyclone. Liberator's going to slide in behind the natural. There's no queens over there. Overlord in the main about to go down as well. Pop. And the Liberator does get 3 drones. Can also kill the eggs in 2, 3, 4 shots. Cyclone's getting a bit of damage on these queens. The Cyclone Alien rotating. Is there another Lib behind it? No, it was just 1 Liberator into flying the starport home. But just getting it here this early allowed him to do some nice damage. Does get 2 queen kills as well as 3 drones. The Hellion Cyclone's going to poke in, but oh no, CLEM, get out of there. CLEM messing up, going a bit too deep on creep, accidentally splitting his army. He's going to lose 3 or 4 Hellions for that. Bit of a mistake. But such a good opening up to that point. But I would have personally liked to see a second Liberator or a Viking. The thing is, looking at this game, I'm realizing why that's a bad choice. At my level, there'd be Overlords for you to kill with the Viking. There'd be a chance for another Liberator to come in and do damage, but Solar's like, no. I've pulled all my Overlords back. I've just got a bit of vision on the edges, building a spore at each face except the natural. Queens are on point, and he's looking reasonably solid in this game. He does also have a slight lead on his 1-1 upgrades. He's delayed his Lair and Baneley Nest to get that. And he's back in the worker lead at 56-48, which is not a massive worker lead, but it's decent, it's respectable. Actually, where is the 4th and 5th barracks behind the natural? Interesting. Feels like the production's way ahead for CLEM. 4th base just now starting at 6 minutes, so it's a pretty standard 4th base timing. But CLEM, even though he proxied to starport, you think of this as being a very committed, aggressive build. The only real thing he loses from it is the starport doesn't get to build a reactor for his barracks. But it's still starting medevacs before 6 minutes 20, which is a very good timing off a heavy pressure opening. That's not bad at all. Widow mines are building, so it's going to be biomine, a great way to out multi-prong solar and try to pick him apart. Cyclones, Hellions, still looking for a bit of denial on the creep spread. Now, Hecate, I normally say Hecate because I'm a little bit lazy with my pronunciation. I like to say hard T's. I'm not racist towards maps. So the Cyclone, Hellion, there's good bridges. Here, great tank spot. Here, great tank spot. Here, great tank spot. That sort of stuff. The reason, though, is that you'd go Widow Mines is the spread. Because where does Solar take a fifth? This base sucks. This base also sucks. You can defend 4 bases really good. But 5 bases? There's no way, man. It's so hard to defend multi-prong biomine. You need to get out of the map and push the Terran away. Clem starting with a heavy pressure. He's still got these 2 Cyclones alive. Marines, Widow Mines hanging out, seeing what they can do. Watch out for the Widow Mine shot on the Banelings. He retargets. He retargets. Massive Widow Mine shot on the Queen Baneling. Clem, you dirty boy. He did not let those Widow Mines fire on the front units. Well done. Doing great damage right now. Units lost tab is like almost 3-1 in his favor. And those Widow Mines, if they recharge and fire again, that's a big problem. There's an Overseer coming up. Needs to get rid of these Widow Mines. The Marines are very heavily overstemmed, so it is time to go. He can't fit everything in the medevac, which is why he's waiting too long. Waited a long time. Both Cyclones still alive and healthy. Can drop in the main base. Next army's going to cascade down the right side of the map. They're going to go and deny that 5th base. Obviously, Solar forced to take that 5th base because the pressure was so heavy on the left side of the map. A few of these units still able to bounce around the left. And here we go, coming up that right side. Solar's on the back foot. He's going Infestation Pit. Hydra's 2-2. 2-2 now starts up for Terran as well. He doesn't know about that 5th base on the right. He's just trying to push in towards the 4 base. Clem, there's a free base kill on your right side, mate. Widow Mines. Good hot pickup there. Widow Mines didn't even take out all the Banelings. Great spreads for Solar. 4th command center is coming up behind this. 3 more barracks building as well. He's going to go to 8 barracks, all on just 1 factory. Marines still not going to that right side. Bit of an oversight for Clem to not realize that 5th base is up. Solar's not started the hive just yet. I expect it to start soon, but he's only on 76 workers, and I think right now he feels the pressure. There we go. Hive does start up. Biomine on the left. Next rally will be over to that right side. He's still got a few Hellbats defending his 3rd in case the Ling Run by comes in. Biocyclone coming in. Ling Bane rolling. But he's going to pick up, drop in the main. There's no Spore Crawlers up here yet. You want to get some Spores on this area to stop this sort of drop. Make sure you punish it in the future. Oh, nice hot pickups there for Clem. He comes in on the right side again. Queens in the open. Oh, those Queens are exposed. You do not want to lose your Queens. That's a big problem. You do not want to lose these Queens. He's going to lose all of his non-injecting Queens, all of his defense/creep Queens. I mean, man, they're holding on for a bloody long time. 1 Queen barely survives, but great trades here for Clem. 3,500 resource versus 5,700 resources. That is a big difference in the units lost, and he's keeping it up. The pressure is so strong. Clem just shoving in from all sides. I said Solar could take a punch. And honestly, his supply is still good, and his Hive and Lurker Den are almost there. I don't know how he hangs on this well. Anyone else would be on the edge of kind of teetering out of this game, but Solar's somehow still got decent supply, but this right side, he's very vulnerable. On the left, he does get overwhelmed, does Clem. Well done by Solar. But on the right side, Solar is vastly outnumbered. And that's a problem. 6 Widow Mines, Marines coming forward. A few drones there are exposed. The Hydra's coming in. They've got both upgrades now, but watch out for that Widow Mine. We'll take out a Hydra and a Baneling. Hydra's coming over to the right. He can click that hatchery. It's just up to Clem whether he chooses to or not. He does end up taking it down. Widow Mine takes out some Broodlings. Not a great value shot. And Solar rebuilds that base. 2 Vipers on the way, as well as +1 range. We've got the army coming through the left side of the map. He's been non-stop on his Widow Mine production this game, doing a great job. 2 more command centers building, as well as a Ghost Academy. He wants to play a non-stop aggressive style. Liberators being added into the mix as well. 11 medevacs should be enough on this map. Widow Mines sieging on the ramp, creating some weird, problematic positions for Solar. Nice spready on the Marines, clearing that creep. Solar can not get any creep spread on this map. Hydras do defend on the right, which is nice. But the Widow Mine's looking for the big juicies on the left. And they will find some. Whoa! That Widow Mine fired from there to there. The Zerglings on creep are so fast that while the shot's in mid-air, it will track them so bloody far. Oh, Marine's a little too close to those Banelings, but with Marauders in front, he might be able to push through. Solar may need to bring reinforcements here. His right side is solid. He's so heavy on Hydras right now. Oh, my lord. Okay, the Hydraling Bane trying desperately to hang on. The Bio just pushing on through. And it looks like Clem may be able to break the back here of the Hydra style. Nicely done. Very good. Hot pickup. Leaves a few units to take the Banelings on the face. Pushes the bottom right at the same time. At the end of this game, the Bio was stimming on top of those Hydras, which were getting gunned down. And that was the final straw. Clem, non-stop aggression from start to finish. GG, well played. All right. Solar in the bottom left side. Solid defense generally, but he was just getting overwhelmed there. This map's going to be a little easier to defend on. But that's why we've got Clem in the top right doing a naughty build. Wait, is this 3 Racks Reaper? No. Okay, it's 2 Racks Reaper, but he's hidden a second barracks behind Solar's potential third. So it looks like he really wants to make sure Solar's third base does not get to go down. And that's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Because remember, Gummio tried some stuff like this versus Solar in the grand finals of GSL. And Solar crapped on it. I mean, even there were those games where he took a third base against 3 Racks Reaper and still got it up and defended the Reapers. There was some wild matches. And Solar's just so good at handling these variations of Reaper aggression. I don't personally rate them as being great against him because he's had a year of practicing versus Beyond spamming Reapers versus him. Some could argue 10 years of Beyond spamming Reapers at him. The man is very used to Reapers. Now, second Reaper jumps in very early. This is what allows you to do some nice damage. But the Zerglings are tanking. He's building a bunch more. Oh, get out of there. You do not want to lose a Reaper. If you lose a Reaper, you're in big trubs. But the Queens are out. Remember, the most important creep is the one connecting your bases. Notice that connects the base, but it also gets towards the ledge. And you want to join your Queens up as quickly as possible so that they help cover each other. You just want to make sure you don't lose the creep tuber. And it looks like it barely hides itself. He could try to grenade that down, could Clem. But it'll take like 6 or 7 grenades to kill since it's regenning pretty quickly. Reaper's pulling back right now. He's actually already floating home. So it's 4 Reapers and that's it. And I guess because he doesn't see a third base, he's like, well, if you're not going to take a third, that's fine. I've succeeded in scaring you away from taking a quick third, and that's good enough. As I say that, a third base sneaks up down the bottom. Clem does not... Oh, he finds it. Does he go for it? Doesn't quite get a queen. He kills 3 Zerglings. Ling speed's finished, guys. And it's a good choice to pull back here for Clem. Clem does not have a wall off right now, guys. Clem. He's like, hey, my name's Hero. Solar, run in. Solar's like, is it a trap? Why is he leaving the door open? Third command center on the high ground. Is a command center there as well. Barracks floating back to the pillar, but nothing to actually take care of that Overlord. Of course, you can always lift one of these barracks once you build a couple Cyclones. Very common to build at least 1 Cyclone here to get rid of the Overlord. Yeah, 2 Cyclones are on the way right now. Clem with a 1-0 lead. A very good start to this series versus Solar. Solar's kind of hard to put in the ground, but I do feel sometimes, you know, he's not really a comeback master. He's not really like a Rainer or a Dark, one of these guys that can always pull it back from behind. Apologies for the interruptions in the commentary, just kind of having a bit of a sneezing attack. Now, I always have sneezes in 3s. I don't know about you out there, ladies and gentlemen, but it's always 3. But they don't always come instantly. So I just had the 3 sneezes, but it was like sneeze, 3-second break, another sneeze, 3-second break, and then another sneeze. It was the 3x3. Kind of annoying. Me and one of my younger brothers also have the... My wife is convinced this is mythical, but we have the thing where when we get sunshine, like in our eyes or on our face or on us, sometimes it makes us sneeze. And she thinks this is not real. And we're like, it is real. If you Google it, they say it's a thing. But then it kind of says there's no evidence for it. It's just something that's kind of been observed. Like, I don't think there's any actual understanding of the physical cause of it. I think so. But there's like plenty of anecdotal evidence of people. And I am one of you. I am a sun sneezer, as is one of my brothers. I have 3 brothers. And the 2 weird middle brothers have the condition, so... Kind of like left-handed, being left-handed, just for the freaks. Fourth hatchery going down to the bottom. No real significant damage here. But on the other hand, I mean, the worker count looks bad for Clem. Of course, this is the moment where Solar's kind of gotten away with pretty low Zergling count up to now. He's feeling pretty confident. As the Marines come forward, they could go for a deny. He tries to dodge the Zergling, but I'm pretty sure that Zergling sees it anyway. And any new units coming out will be able to defend that. The SCV is like, quick, to safety. And he's like, I don't have any safety. There we go, nicely done. All right, Marines are joining the front. Oh, he's actually going to morph Hellbats and push the front. Clem going hard here. Oh, it's a lot of Queen Transfuse energy, though. It's going to be hard to get through those meat sacks. Solar misses a Transfuse. One of the Queens has already gone down. Solar not transfusing. Solar, what is going on, mate? He's lost like 3 Queens without transfusing. Solar is shitting his bed right now. There's no other way to say. I'm sorry. I know some of you have kids around, but man, that is a big mistake on his transfuse micro. He had plenty of units to defend. Instead, he's taking massive damage. He did a Ling Run by and killed 4 SCVs, so I guess he was distracted, but there really wasn't anything to micro there. I don't know what was going on with Solar's micro right then, guys. He missed at least 3 transfuses, I believe even more than that. Lost a bunch of Queens with energy. And it is what it is. Great damage for Clem. 4 more Queens being built now. Solar's having to dump a massive amount of money into that. Of course, he killed a lot of Clem's units as well. It's not like it's free, but they were Hellions and Cyclones. They were kind of early game units anyway. And wait, what? Guys, is he building a second factory right now? Off 3 barracks? Wow, okay, Clem, and his upgrades are really late. This is a weird build order. Okay, I'm calling it now. Clem never makes 2-2 in this game. Even though he has an army, I think Clem's gonna like forget upgrades or like buildings or something, because it's such an odd build order. And I know Clem's greater than us normie Terrans, but I don't know about you out there. Me, if I have an opening like this where my 1-1 is kind of awkward and a little bit late, and then my buildings are all kind of at weird moments, it's very easy to mess your build up and forget some of the things that you normally would never forget. We'll see if Clem actually does have more experience in these strange, murky waters than I expect. 2 Widow Mines in that base. Oh, he's going to go for the full triple. Not really any juicy targets there. Solar with a bit of a slow response, but hey, a Queen and 6 drones. That's really nice. Can go and just kind of hang out in the dead space for a little bit. Cyclone gets taken out by the Zerglings. I don't think Clem cares much about losing the Cyclone at this stage of the game. Loiter, that's the word I was looking for. The medevac will just loiter there until the Widow Mines are ready. Probably one of the funniest crimes, loitering. They're like, yeah, if we don't like you, we don't like, you know, your sort of person, we'll just get you in trouble for loitering. And you're like, wow. Just standing around. Widow Mines coming north. This could be a big boom boom, but Solar doesn't really have anything distracting him, so Drilling Claws has only just started. They get blown up before they can do it. Not the best timing on that for Clem. I would have liked Clem to do that while he was like stimming in on creep and really distracting Solar. 2-2 is ahead for Solar right now. He's got the upgrade lead. He's up 10 workers. That's going to be pretty juicy. Gets the last creep tumor there. Nice pickup into pull away for Clem. And he's got the Drilling Claws, but he hasn't built any siege tanks. And I think against Hydralisks and Banelings, mixing siege tanks in with your Widow Mines is so powerful. It's so good to get some siege tanks out against the Hydra Baneling style. Marines from the left. Oh, he thought he'd catch Solar on the way home. Actually, beautiful focus on the Banelings. Oh, Clem. Come on, stop, mate. That's not fair. Ooh, that Overseer, only 1 hit point left, but transfuse at the last second. Nice play by Solar. Not missing that transfuse. New hatchery going down in the bottom right side of the map as well. The Marines and the Widow Mines going very deep on creep. There are no Marauders in the mix. His extra barracks and his 4th command center are just coming up. Clem is still kind of stuck in that earlier composition of just Marine Mine. Hydras and Banes on creep are really good against this composition. Solar's kind of just waiting for him to overextend. He's saying, come on up the ramp, come on into my Hydra Bane arc. Hive is on the way behind it. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Lurker Den, but of course Solar prefers to go the 3-3 upgrades, Adrenal Glands, and Vipers, and only then go towards that next stage. Lings doing a nice little run by into the base. Widow Mine will take out some of them. That's a good defense by Clem as he starts his 5th command center. Widow Mines do clear up another queen. So far, 10 queens have died this game. Solar's built 17 queens, that means. Nice. Spready's disabling the Widow Mines. There's still one up there he doesn't know about, though. The Marines kind of pick away at this, but they can't really force a proper fight. They're always just going to have to pick up and run away. Good micro by Clem. Doesn't have to pick up that time. He can heal. New army coming down the left. The problem is the Hive and the Lurker Den are on the way. Solar's getting set up for the late game. We've talked for many times over the last year about how Solar survives until he's maxed, until he's on Hive Tech, and then he just stomps you. And he does it to Maru sometimes. He's definitely capable of doing it to Clem. Clem is building Mass Command Center. He's trying to get set up for the next stage, but he does not have siege tanks building, only biomine. He's got a Ghost Academy. He hasn't started the actual Ghost production yet. A couple Ghosts mixed in I think is great, but I'd love to see those siege tanks. Without siege tanks, I think it's really tough. One of the real reasons siege tanks are actually god tier versus Solar as well is I don't think I've ever seen Solar build a Broodlord. Unless he wants to take a nuke to the face from Maru. Obviously, that famous moment aside, it's really, really rare that he goes Broodlords. He loves to just hang out on Hydraling Bane Viper or maybe add Lurkers to it and go from there. These Widowmine's getting really nice trades for Clem. His Marine Widowmine over there does take some damage. He loses one of the Widowmines. Clem's got to get out of there. On the right side, he saves only 2 medevacs worth of Marines. On the left, loses a bunch of units, but good starter step. Units lost tab. Tells us that it is a 2,500 lead for Clem. So he's about, maybe, what is that, 30% more efficient, something like that, than Solar, which is not bad. 30% lead is absolutely acceptable in the matchup, especially since he's taking a 5th base. He's making more orbital command centers right now. He's only on 3. With Lurkers going to be hitting the field soon, that's scary. One Baneling slips through, and a bunch of Marines do go down. Volatile, what is it called? Volatile Burst. Volatile Burst on the face. Always a good way to punish the Terran for getting too deep. 3 Ghosts and 3/3 upgrades on the way. Clem is not building tanks. He's going to stick to this style, guys. It's just going to be Widowmines, Marines, Marauders, Ghosts. That's the entire style. Maybe a few Liberators mixed in, mostly for harassment. With this style, if you lose one fight, you will get stomped by a counterattack. It's very hard for you to cement any defensive position, but you're very mobile. It's about catching the Zerg out of position. But you both have to be very careful. If either side overextends, say the Zerg off creep or the Terran onto creep, takes a really bad fight. Things can turn south for them very quickly. So both sides are kind of waiting for the other to mess up. Clem's the one who gets aggressive first, pokes in on the left. Does lose all of his Widow Mines, but he takes a pretty good trade. Kills a few units. He's going to dive the right side, but oh, Solar, too good for that. He is not going to clump his whole army. I always think of Serral, one of his first-person view streams. He F2'd his army for a push like that to one side against Clem. Clem dove in the other side, killed a base and drones. And I've never seen Serral more disgusted with himself than in that moment. He was just like, oh, come on. Obviously, I'm not even going to try to do a Serral impersonation. His accent's so unique, but he's like, the only thing you have to do in this matchup is keep your army split as a Zerg. They're always going to attack 2 sides, and if you ever bring your whole army to one side of the map, you're basically handing bases and drones away on a platter. Solar has not made that mistake once. Like, Clem is all over him in terms of like, I'm attacking here, I'm attacking there, and he is taking good trades. But I don't think it matters. It's not enough to really impact a 90 drone Zerg. Now he's got, 5, 6, 7 bases, a gold base, +3 melee, Carapace is finished, Vipers are out, Parasitic Bombs on those medevacs, massive hits, Hydra's gonna add some damage there as well, he loses the full one, and 3 other medevacs, Bio Ghost going down, things falling apart very quickly. Remember what I said about things can fall apart very quickly because you don't have any tanks anchoring your play. All of your units require active micro to be valuable. Siege tanks, Liberators are not there yet. He's trying to go for extra starports and Fusion Core, but he is not there yet. Whoa, sorry guys, we're getting some lag spikes here on my computer. I apologize for that. Widowmine does go off, take out some Banelings, but dude, he's losing so much control of this territory, and that's very scary. But only 6 SCVs, and he does take a 5th on the right and a 6th base on the left. A little ambitious expanding to both sides at once, but that's kind of how the Biomine Ghost style plays out. Solar's been really good at cleaning these Widow Mines up, not letting them fire a second time. More Banelings morphing on the front line. He's got a lot of Hydras. +2 range is on the way, but it's not there just yet. And that is, of course, +3 armor, Marines, and Marauders. Pretty tanky against those only +1 attack Hydras. Attack Hydras. Oh, Parasitic Bomb landing on the medevacs. Good spready there, though. The Bee's not going to be able to get too much damage. Lings do find the Worker Rally on the left. He's continuing forward. I did not expect that. Whoa! He's actually continuing to break through. Solar just has the numbers. Clem is trapped in behind his own natural. The Overseers activate Pervert mode. The Widow Mines are getting some very good defensive shots. You can't chase into that as Clem unless you've got the numbers. Oh, wait. That's a lot of Hydras. That is a lot of Hydras. Their positioning was just too good. Even with the units coming in from the left, it's a costly trade for Clem, and it's one Solar can afford, he cannot. From being at about 30% in the mining to the moment his front line broke, look at how close the trading is now. Solar swarming in, catching Clem unprepared. He could even have clicked that command center with those Hydras and Lings, but I think he's just going to group up, make another big wave of Hydras, get ready for that next attack. And this was overall very successful for Solar. Solar's continuing to expand, and he's using the momentum of Zerg. Zergs produce faster. They produce more suddenly, and they do not need to invest in a lot. It's just chuck down that mineral, 300 hatchery mineral, 300 mineral hatchery, only lose one drone to do it. And then you've got a base. The Terran has to make the command center. It takes as long as the hatchery, but then they've got to upgrade it, often into a planetary. Then they've got to defend it. And of course, hatcheries are just popping up all over the map, while the Terran feels like they cannot necessarily keep up pace. More ghosts as well as lib range and building armor trying to be mixed in here by Clem. The Widow Mines won't really do anything, just a single drone kill. Clem does kill a base on the left of the map. That is his first hatchery sniper this game. Zero frames dropped on my stream, guys. We did have a little glitch where it froze for half a second before, but that was it. Oh my god! Apologies, eardrums. 28 Banelings just went down to one Widowmine shot. Doesn't matter though. Lurkers on the right side looking fantastic. Holy crudsicles. That was a big Widowmine, but he just doesn't have the answers to this. Marines cannot deal with the Lurkers. He doesn't have many Marauders. He doesn't have any Ghosts. Banelings rolling in there, going to go after the repairing SCVs, trying to get them around on all sides. He's not able to repair in time, and that base goes down on the left. The Lurker Baneling rolls in on the right. The Lurkers are just throwing those spines into the units, doing a lot of damage, cleansing Clem's army. And of course, look at the map. Look at the Zergling reinforced, guys. Zergling, Baneling, Hydra in the top left. All the Zerg coalescing onto the left side of the map, and those Banelings hitting both the planetary and the orbital. Both will go down. Oh, actually, wait. Only the orbital. Nice mass repair there for Clem. The orbital did kind of block for it, not let those Banelings get in the mineral line. The mass repair saves the day. Widowmine down the bottom, waiting for these drones to pop out and die. Clem is on 70 workers. He's still trading decently. He's behind 5,000 resources, so he's 1/7 more efficient. I'm good with numbers. I don't know what that is as a percentage, but definitely looking okay. Those 3 drones did just go down to this Widowmine. Maybe Clem can survive. I mean, how many orbitals does he have? Oh, only 4 orbitals. I don't think with 4 orbitals you'll have enough mining. If he could just drop like 10 mules right now, I think Clem's back in the game. Oh, hold on. If he gets a really good fight, that helps too. The Viper doesn't get EMP'd. It does get a parasitic bomb off. Massling Bane Hydra coming forward. Solar's like, here's my numbers, baby. Liberator's coming in from the left side. Gets 9 drones. Very nice Liberator usage. On the right, though, the Ling Bane Hydra continuing forward. He retreats to the planetary. There's too many Banelings! And that is going to take out the planetary fortress. That is a crucial kill, knocking Clem back to 4 bases. More units coming in from the left side. The Hydras are going to have to back away. But the Liberator harassment was cleaned up on the other side. The Widowmine did just kill another 3 drones. Solar's income, you'd think, would be taking a hit, but he's replaced the drones. He's still on 83 workers, and he's getting close to maxed out. Now, he's not got any bank left, so it's still a scary position. Maybe Clem needs to chill, but I think after losing that last base, he feels like he needs to attack, but it's not working out, and the supply drops. It plummets there for Clem. Solar still has the momentum. A single Infestor, a single Viper, and nothing but Lings and Hydras. Widowmine drop on the left side. A great idea to try and do some damage, but great spreadies from Solar. The Widowmine on the right side still being an absolute pain in the dirt right there. Poking Solar in his dirt. His backdoor expansion does get poked there. Another drone going down. But Solar's rich. He does not care right now. These Liberators won't be able to do any damage because there is, of course, Hydras in position. Range Lib is able to abuse positioning a little bit, though, on the edges of these maps. Gonna have to build a Spire, mate. Widowmine's just fired again on this left side. That has not been cleared up yet. Finally, the Overseer comes over. The Queens will deal with it. On the right side, Liberator is dealing with these bases. Solar's losing a lot of mining time. Okay, Abduct comes in. Abduct's one of the Liberators. He'll move to the left and abduct that one as well, no doubt. Got a Marine drop and another Liberator moving out the left. Another little Bio Ghost poke here on the right side. Viper and Hydras will take care of it. There we go. Beautiful Abduct there. Widowmine does burrow. Bio Ghost trying to distract, so his 8 Marine drop and Liberator on the left can do damage. He just EMP'd an Overseer, I believe. Not the most useful EMP. Better than nothing, though. Not much to snipe here. Ghosts are basically just a Marauder that is incredibly expensive. 8 Marines coming in. Mass Queen. At least he gets distracted, but the Marines will not beat those Queens if they transfuse. No transfuses coming down. Doesn't matter, though. Ling, Bane, Hydra, Infestors in the back as well. And he says, you know what? I have endless Zerg. That being said, the supply is actually surprisingly close. Dude, if Clem doesn't lose his workers and just recovers these bases, he might be okay. A fungal lands on the SCVs, but they don't die. The supply is dangerously close. How is Clem making this damn close? It's even supply. He's up in army. Okay, well, I mean, the income is just gone for him, though. He's got 4 mineral patches there. If he had a few more orbitals and could drop mules here, he'd be great. But the supply is so close, there's no bank for Solar that I feel like, I don't know if Solar's position's nearly as good as it was a minute or two ago. Dude, I've been casting this kind of with the assumption that Clem was just a bit too far behind. But he's Clem. This is the guy who we've seen made comebacks versus the best players in the world multiple times. We have seen him way behind versus Serral and make a comeback. And he's one of the few players who's ever done that since 2018. Clem fighting hard from behind. He doesn't quite have the numbers against this Hydra horde, though. There's just enough Hydras to break the line. Just enough Hydras. That's a risky move for Solar. But it pays off. More libs, bio, and mines coming in. There's a marine drop from the left. He's got to be careful with that. Get out of there, marines. Oh, the army comes in from the right as well. Clem in a bit of disarray. He needs to just hold this position. He needs to turtle. Solar's getting very scrappy. He's throwing a lot of units away. You just need to defend this base and then slowly move an orbital to the gold. He's got to survive. Fungal clips, a medevac, a widow mine, and a marauder. More Hydraling coming forward. The Liberator's trying to hang on. The Hydras are going to bust through. Widow mine's firing on the Zerglings and the Overseers. There's not many Hydras left. Clem will hold this position. Oh me, oh my. He laughs all day and night, but oh no, the SCVs rallying out to this base a bit too quickly. Clem needs to keep it in his pants right now. He's going to have to holster that bad boy. He is ready and rearing to take this gold base, but Clem is still behind in army supply. He needs to move those Liberators fully, slowly and methodically. Watch out for the fungals, only landing on the medevacs. Could have been worse. Clem right now, his income climbing. Solar still has a base there on the right. The Liberator a bit slow to siege up. It is getting scrappy. 440 APM for Clem, 700 APM for Solar. Holding down that Zergling key like a madman right now, spamming out everything he can. The bio falling back behind the gold mineral line. The Ling number is insane. The parasitic bomb does get split against immediately. The Hydras break through the lib. There's more Ling Hydra from the left. Solar just has too much momentum. Clem almost fighting back from behind, but he has to tap out. What in the hell? I can't believe Clem almost brought that back. That is a confidence booster, even though he loses the game. But Solar does tie up the series. All right. Top left side, Onside Gaming Solar. And the bottom right, we've got Clement. Going for a 2-Rex Reaper, my least favorite build. I think Solar is the best player in the world at shutting this down. Even in that last game with the cute proxy barracks, I don't know if Clem came out on top of that. He did. He had that cool kind of like Reaper, Hellion, Cyclone push with the Hellbats and the Marines, but if Solar transfused correctly, I actually think he shuts that push down and is miles ahead in that game. So we'll see what Clem goes for this time around. I do think Solar will probably squeeze a quick third hatchery in. He almost always hides a drone out there. He doesn't always take the third hatchery, but usually tries to sneak that in pretty quick. He's already got Ling speed started super early, guys. That's a very fast Ling speed. Going to be done before 3 minutes 30. Should be nice. Reaper going after the Zerglings right now. 8 Zerglings. Very safe counter Zerglings. Allows you to rotate the weak ones to the back. It's building a 4th Reaper, as Clem likes to do. This drone hiding. He's like, oh, there's no third hatchery. Of course, the drone's just waiting. He goes extra third queen, get the Overlord, spread the creep, mostly connecting the bases. 2 queens up the front. Ling's watching the path. This is a very weak Reaper path on this map as well. And you can see he's just going to bring them back down individually at the last second. Whew, Daredevil. That drone will come down and take the third hatchery now as the Reapers move south to check there's not one on the other side. And with Ling speed almost done, he kind of knows the Reapers don't have time to check down there, get back, and cancel the hatchery before they could get surrounded by Zerglings. Now, technically, he could stand there and kill the hatchery because he hasn't started building extra Zerglings yet, but it's a very big risk. There's no way for Clem to know that. We know it, but Clem does not. Third command center on the way. He's got the double barracks there and the factory on the natural as well. The extra fast speed is pretty common amongst the Koreans right now because the Terrans have so many different openings and a lot of them involve some form of 2-Rex Reaper aggression right now or even 3-Rex. So I think Solar, like many other Zergs, we even saw Serral just starting to do it as well. He's kind of tired of his 15 hatch 15 pool from what I can tell in Zerg vs Terran. They're just going for a quick Ling speed to kind of limit what those Reaper openings can do. And if they don't see a second Reaper come out, I think they just can cancel it or not even start the Ling speed and then just take a bit of a quicker third base. So it's just mining your 100 gas a little bit earlier to give yourself the option, essentially. And then if it turns, oh, it's just a single Reaper, we can cancel Ling speed, start a third hatchery. That being said, I don't think I've actually seen any of them cancel Ling speed when it turns out not to be. I think they're just like, I'll still let Ling speed finish. Like, it doesn't really matter starting the third hatchery 100 minerals earlier or not. They're like, oh, whatever, Ling speed's always good. I'm taking it a little bit faster. It's slightly less economic, but it's not going to break the bank. Great Overlord positioning to not give any free kills to the Cyclones. They're going to poke forward. Double Evo Chamber Greed on the way for Solar. It's also got a second gas. Oh, that's a good grenade, man. That was a very sexy grenade. These queens, 2 of them just got transfuse energy. Like 2 seconds after that queen died. The trick with this is your Hellions are faster than your other units, so they'll naturally run in front and take all the queen hits. So when you're harassing with Reaper, Hellion, Cyclone, you actually want to make sure the Hellions constantly rotate to the back, because otherwise they just keep running in front. I see a lot of people out there doing Cyclone Hellion pressure, and then they just kind of lose like 3 or 4 Hellions, and they think they're doing really good, and then they realize, hey, I have 4 Cyclones, 3 Reapers, no Hellions, and 20 Zerglings surround them and kill their whole army, and they're like, oh, if I had even 2 Hellions left alive, that'd be a very different fight. Lings are alive in the top right side of the map. We've got lots of Marines building out of those 2 barracks. The factory has a tech lab on it. It's starting siege tank production. 4th gas going to be going down. Cleans up a Zergling scout. Solar's creep has been well contained by this pressure. That is kind of the goal of the Hellion Cyclone Reaper force. But it is a Bailey Nest and a lair starting up at 5 minutes 40. And Solar will no doubt take a 4th base in the near future. He's already got a drone there. Something that Solar's really good at is he just sends the drone there ahead of time. In some games it sits there 15, 20 seconds before he builds the hatchery. But it's far better than, I see a lot of players go, oh, I have 500 minerals. And they grab a drone from here, they build the hatchery on location. And it could just be starting so much earlier if you send the drone there a little bit ahead of time. Siege tank on the natural. Doesn't fully cover that. Oh, he goes into the little SCV corner. Tank can kind of cover them there. Still loses 3 SCVs though. Cyclone Marine Reaper pressure. No Hellbats this time. No armory. Ooh. Okay, guys. The Queens have done a great job. Many more transfuses available. He's not missing his transfuses this time. Ling's coming around the right side. He's just going to go for the big fight. Those Marines are overstimmed. So normally this would be a decent fight, but because he gets both surrounded and the Marines are overstimmed, Clem does have to pick up and get out of there. And Solar, whilst he's behind in the units lost, it is nothing scary. He's going up in drones. He's already up 6 or 7. He's going to drone his 4th base. 5th base goes up in the north, and most importantly, he's starting to reestablish a bit of map control. So creep is going to spread, and look at the way he spreads creep on every single path. He goes bottom to top and does a full creep cycle. A lot of players will just throw creep tumors down randomly here, randomly there. But for Solar, it's actually a cycle where he knows, oh, guess what? I can spread these tumors again in like, 10, 11 seconds. I can go back and do that. And then come back and again, 15, 20 seconds later, spread it again. Solar is systematic as they come. Of course, that's lower priority than defending Clem's annoying Marine drops. But you'll see there, starts to spread the creep on the bottom. Should be seeing it spread in the middle in the near future, but Solar's still trying to get info on what's going on. So let's go look at Clem's build. Going up to 8 barracks, is it? My gosh. All right, guys. Got a few tech labs coming in, as well as mostly reactors. So 2 tech labs, 6 reactors is an interesting style. This is not quite the completely all-in style, but it's pretty damn aggressive because you're so Marine focused. I don't even know if this is on purpose or not, because he's building a 4th command center. This is a weird style that Clem's playing right now. Oh. Bjorn has killed Solar a bunch recently with 8 reacted mass Marine. Clem seems like he wants to mix a few Marauders in, just 2 Marauders at a time. Interesting. Yeah, 12 Marines. Still making concussive and 1 Marauder. 4th command center is almost there. Hive is starting. Clem's only trading marginally better than Solar. Doesn't really feel like any of these trades are really causing a big impact. Solar's on 80 workers. He's got his 2-2 way ahead of the Terran 2-2. Clem needs to get some aggression going. 5 tanks, 44 Marines, 1 Marauder, and 6 medevacs. That's the army with which Clem will now move through the left. And I think a tank there is amazing. Definitely wants to move some tanks further on these edges as well. He could try to get down here, drop the whole army and tanks down there, while his marine drop in the top being very annoying, keeping an opening in the creep there. You can see tanks starting to move forward on all these different areas. Nice siege up, but always a bit deep on creep. Clem with the miss micro gets smashed by Ling Bane. Oh, that is devastating. And of course, Solar will take out the tank on the left as well before going back. The Marines on the right were distracted, so Clem was a little slow. That was the classic. Solar attacked him on the right to force Clem's camera there, and then Clem was just half a second too slow looking back on the left side. This is a trick here. A lot of Zergs out there on the ladder, they say, man, Terran's BS. They can out-micro anything you do. Every top-level Zerg is very experienced at always pulling the Terran's attention to one side when the real hammer strike lands on the other side. You just want to engage on one side just half a second before the other side comes forward here on the left. He's engaging on the right at the same time. It's going to be very hard for Clem to micro both at once. Clem, nice stutter step though, dude. Very good pullbacks. Oh, and he did save the Marines on the right at the same time. What a legend. Man, that micro is insane. Clem's now way up in supply. He's down 20 workers, but he's got massive momentum. What? Clem! Oh, Clem! Guys, there's balls, and then there is balls. And that was the bad kind of balls from Clem. He saw there was 8 speed banes on creep. He stimmed in far away from his medevacs and just basically banked on being able to focus down 8 speed banelings on creep. And he just handed his advantage away. He was so ahead, he could have kept pushing and denied this base, put Solar back on 4 bases, put him on his toes, and really done some massive damage. But he's not set up for the late game, Clem. Clem is not in a position where he can afford a mistake like that. That was a very big mistake. He does not have a 5th command center. He's only on... Okay, he's got a 2nd factory now, building a reactor, so he can add some Widow Mines or Hellbats. I can hear loud rumbling noises either outside or above my apartment. Very confusing. That was frightening. Maybe it's the loud rumbling of the Zerg that are consuming this map right now. Solar's up 18 workers. He's on Hive Tech, and he's got a Viper. The Viper is going to start peppering those medevacs with Parasitic Bomb. Could Blinding Cloud tanks as well. There are 3 tanks here, but there's no Widow Mines. The bio spread is nice, but look at this engagement! Solar coming in with a Blinding Cloud on the left. There's a tank up the top that's already gone down. The bio trying to spread back, but he is outnumbered and outgunned. And Solar takes a beautiful cleanup on the right side and the left at the same time. Clem is not watching. Banelings are going to connect. And Clem is running out of power. I thought he was going to go up and get the 2-to-1 advantage. I really feel like he had the momentum after those fights on the left side. But no. He messes up a little bit, overcommits, and Solar, just fantastic macro and defense, is able to take control of the game at Hive Tech, as he is known to do. Lurkaden on the way, 3-3 Carapace. A vehicle plating's coming in as well. I mean, he's still got one big push in him. But going deep on creep in this big open area, this is not a good area to fight as Terran. Clem is so deep on creep. Oh my god, the whole Solar army is here. This is a crazy fight to be taking for Clem. I mean, essentially, it's I'm going to throw away everything that's not bio, and I'm going to pick up the bio at the last second, but he's still trying to stand and fight. I mean, he's all in. He's all in, and that one does not seem to work. The Widow Mine's friendly firing here because he's just too outnumbered. And whenever you're this outnumbered, the Zerg can just overrun you. Those Widow Mine shots not as effective when you're outnumbered 5-1. All right, that was a pretty damn impressive victory for Solar. A few moments where it was scary. Clem just diving a bit too far on creep, getting a bit excited. We'll see if the young Team Liquid player can fight back. Solaris, it's a scary map. This is the map that Solar won his GSL championship on, the final map in that series. And no surprises there. You can't spell Solaris without Solar. And you know what? It's kind of cool that with this map pool, Solar goes from being the most unlucky player of all time in StarCraft to finally winning a GSL championship and really ascending to a whole new level. It's funny because I was thinking, like, you know, people are like, Solar's really good right now. I'm like, yeah, he's good at sniping Serral and Zerg vs. Zerg. I don't know about anything else, you know? I know he's good, but I don't know if he's going to, like, win tournaments. People are like, I was like, you guys are overhyping him. But, anyone who overhyped him and said, hey, him beating Serral was the beginning of a great streak. Going 5-0 in maps against Serral in big tournaments. Very, very promising performance. And he's carried that over into his other matchups as well. It's going to be a nice scout here. Clem playing safe. Doesn't want to get caught out by anything. making sure it's not like a gas pool opening. Any sort of early rush. And it's a classic 1-Rax expand. Starts the depot down there. That guy will build the factory when he's done with the depot. Mule starts, SCV starts, Marine will queue up, potentially look for the Overlord. I wonder if the Overlord's going to go around this right side. The Reaper does see the Overlord. Let's see if Clem paths the Marine down there to fight it. A lot of players have been trying to sneak the Overlord kind of down here to the right and then go in the back and sneak into the back of the base. It's pretty good if the Terran doesn't realize you're doing it, but if they realize, they can definitely stop it. Reaper's coming in to get that tax. Ling speed once again starts up nice and early. Seems like Solo's like, hey, this is just the safest way to play. It's more of an old school opening that's come back in favor due to how often that Reaper pressure is hitting. Single Reaper gets a Zergling kill. That's nice. Better than you really expect. That hatchery going down up above. Actually, whoa. Solo just put it back on gas. Solo just put back on gas, guys. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing a Baneling bust? That to me says Baneling bust. Solo sniffs something. He sniffs weakness. Oh me, oh my. Keep your eyes on Solo right now. What is he up to? Still just building drones. It's a very early moment to put back on gas. Unless he wants to try and rush either Nidus or Mutalisks. This seems like Nidus. Queenling Nidus is an all-in this matchup. If you think your opponent's going to be relying on Hellions and Banshees, you can use an Overseer with the Lair plus Queens popping out of the Nidus to deal with the Banshee and the Hellions. They both kind of die just to Queens. So Nidus all-in definitely could be on the cards. See if he starts massing Zerglings off about 30 to 40 drones. Just at 33, 34 drones right now is Solar. He's building a lot of extra Overlords. He is pumping a few extra Queens. Clem's gone 3 Command Center into Hellion Banshee. He used to die to Bly doing this exact opening that he's doing now. To the point where whenever he'd play Bly, he'd do the opening, but he'd build a bunker here and a bunker here. He would literally play the most conservative, turtley-like version of this build ever against Bly because he was so paranoid about Nidus Worm. So, of course, a few years ago when Bly was a bit more active and Clem was not as experienced, and Bly was still able to sneak those series off him pretty regularly. Nidus Worm does go down. It's a cheeky butthole, guys. It's not the cheekiest. There won't be Swarmos coming out of it, but the Nidus Worm, it's a deadly play. It doesn't have to be a complete all-in, but you definitely want to kill a bunch of SCVs. And as the Terran, the way to defend this is you want to get your factory on your tech lab, build siege tanks, and defend behind a wall of buildings. So if the Nidus Queen's over here, you want your units over there. If the Nidus Queen's down here, you want to defend like on the high ground or something like that. And you often have to, if they're in the main, you pull all the SCVs to the natural. You need to defend the natural as well, you know, you can't just leave it out. Hellions are on the wrong side of the map. Massive Zergling run by getting on in there. Oh, and he's going to Nidus inside the main base. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a disaster for Clem. He needs to stop the Nidus Worm, but his Hellions just aren't there. Oh, my lord. Okay, this is a big problem. The Queens are going to pop out. The Queens are going to pop out. The Overseer comes in. The Banshee is already dead, and the Queen's transfusing and starting to do big damage. Wait, where are the Zerglings, though? The Lings aren't in the Nidus. Okay, he pops the Lings in the Nidus. He's got more Lings running in the front. The door's not even closed. And Solar with a brutal finishing blow. I say he just macros and he defends and he takes a punch and he gets to Hive Tech and he wins. Well, I forgot to mention this series. In a best of 5+, Solar always likes to mix in one dirty play. It's a never more than one in a best of 5 series, but he mixes one in and he finds the mark. Very well played by Solar. I love it. It's a bit of a risk to do this build, but he pulls it off. Catches Clem completely with his pants down. Let's go back to when those Zerglings first ran in. That's a disaster, mate. That is such a disaster. Just no wall off or nothing. Hellions are on the wrong side of the map, and these Lings are just like, hey, any hole's a goal. Holy crap, that's a very, very wide open hole. Clem just not paying attention. Oh, that's a disaster. Kills the only fighting units at home? That's ridiculous. Man, you know what's funny? Rogue actually eliminated Maru from IEM Katowice, doing this exact same thing where Maru knew the Nidus was coming, and the Overlord was here, and he chased the Overlord over with like a Viking and some units and killed it. And then like 5 Lings ran in his main, popped the Nidus in his main and killed him. And it actually knocked Maru out of a world championship back in like 2019 or something like that. Kind of crazy to see that happen again. Well played, Solar. GG, well played.